Happy Saturday, everyone. It is February 15th. It's about noon right now. I'm on my way to my second property to kind of do a once-over. We got some fresh snow on the ground. I want to go look at some doe beddings. I haven't really gone in-depth with this property, to be honest. I did grow up on it, but I never really got serious about it. It was always kind of the next property, the latest and greatest. I kind of got bored with it after a while, and I'm hoping this year that I can just go into it, learn some new things, and just kind of get a gist of what kind of has really grown on it the last couple of years. I did harvest a 9-point out of it a couple years back, and that's really the gist of my hunting there. Unfortunately, half the property was sold off, I want to say last year, and the new families moved in, and they're getting ready to build a house on it. Real great family, and they're pretty like-minded with me as well about wildlife management, so I'm looking forward to see how that will go. So enjoy. So where we're at right now is a bedding area that I pretty well know. As you can see, I don't know if you can see her moving. There were 2 doe, but now there are 1. Sitting right here in this pretty thick treetop area. This property was logged, I want to say 5 years ago, so it's probably due for another one in some people's minds, but I don't think it is. Right now I'm kind of focused on her. I don't think I can zoom in anymore, but she's kind of looking over because she hears me and doesn't know where I'm at. Another pretty cool thing is that one that ran off is still standing right there. Usually when deer run, it's because they hear an initial something and they don't know what's going on, and they stop and look around. And if they don't really see a threat, they kind of just stay there. But I'm starting to think that this one over here finally realizes that this big old brute's over here looking at him. So I think it's time to investigate a little more. I'll probably be, bumping them out, which is a great thing to some of you, but I mean, it's currently February, so I don't really think it matters. See, there she goes. I don't even have to worry about it. Ooh. Alrighty. This whole area into there is basically just thicket bedding area, and it's just tons of ridges and hills and hollers. You can tell it like once you go over this. I mean, it's straight down, and it goes back up over there. Kind of what I want to do. It might be a little close to the bedding area, but this open pocket right here, I want to put a small little food plot in, just to put a camera up and kind of watch. I don't hunt here exactly. I hunt about 150 yards that way, and then I hunt a good 150 yards that way on that ridge, on top of the ridge, facing in this way down into a swamp that's there, while I can watch them when they're drinking. I can also see out that way into another holler, and it's great for the rut because they just love cruising around this big doe bedding area. As you can see here, this bedding area is full of these prickers just everywhere, and it's real smart because who's gonna want to walk through that? Definitely not a person, definitely not a dog. Absolutely predator proof. Not really, but I mean, I think it's pretty smart how these deer will see little areas like this and just find pockets to just walk through them and not even be bothered by it. It's just surrounded by them. As you can see there, just everywhere. And they come, and they're these poisonous bushes that you really shouldn't eat, obviously, but it's just super cool. As you can see right here
is another good example of a rut funnel that I talked about in my last video, where just a ton of paths come into one straight line for a bit and then branch out over there. I've had countless bucks circle in front of this last year. None that I really wanted to shoot, but it shows just how much just everything connects in the woods, especially during the rut. Right here is another example of where does will bed. I actually just bumped a little fawn, not really a fawn, it's a yearling now. Bumped her out of here and she went that way. But over there's a big cornfield and there's a swamp right in there, and you turn over here, and there's giant fields over here. Right there is where the other bedding area is, you can still see it. But just like that other one, they're bedding right into where all this thick stuff is, and that's what you kind of gotta find, especially if you want to gear up for the rut, because those bucks will sit there and circle these bedding areas, checking before you won't even see them, but they'll sit there and circle these bedding areas. First week of November, last week of October, scent checking these does, checking to see if they're ready. Unfortunately, here is the end of my line, but before, when we owned this other half of the property, I had bedding areas all in there on the edge of this nice thick swamp, and even sometimes in the swamp, where those giant doe groups would just bed and bed and bed. And my stand is right there, and I would catch these bucks coming through here into this area, checking, just following, set checking that one. There's one over there in that giant doe bedding area. And they would just circle up right into here, whatever way the wind was blowing, and scent checking. And that's kind of where you can catch them, right? Anywhere between bedding areas, scent checking the bedding areas to make sure and see if any deer, well, does are in heat.
Thank you guys for watching. I'd love to hear any opinions, any feedback, and also any insight into what you guys would like to see going forward. Once turkey season's hit, and start doing some of that, along with shed hunting. I'm hopefully gonna see some sheds this year, so I'll be taking you guys along with that as well. So I just thank you for watching my video. I really appreciate it, and I hope to see you on the next one.